Matt,
Yes, Ryan.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for round two?
I'm ready for round two.
Welcome to Discography Draft, everybody! Hey, for those of you who are listening right now, hey, welcome to another episode of Hey, Listen to This. If you are listening to this episode, the reason why we put it out in the air is that, well, me and Matt have something going on right now. And, we figured, we had a lot of fun doing this last time, so figure out run it on back. And for those of you who are like, what are you going to do? Matt, what are we doing in this episode?
We are doing our second discography draft. And that is where me and Ryan will go through a band's discography of their studio albums and pick them as if we're drafting, kind of like fantasy football or fantasy hockey. And then we will use, I believe it is AllMusic.
Correct, yes.
To tally up the scores of community user rating, and whoever comes out on top with the highest score wins.
So, last time we did this, I got killed.
Yeah, you did. You did. The band was The Who, and I found myself to be a little bit on the higher rung than Ryan was there. Granted, that's not surprising because I am a Who fan. But this time we're doing a band that I'm not quite as much of a fan of, so you might have the upper hand in that regard. And when I say I'm not a fan, just to clarify, it doesn't mean I hate them. It's just that I'm not as familiar.
Billy Corgan, don't come after us.
No, please don't.
And for those of you who are like, what is the band? Well, I mean, if you caught the Billy Corgan reference, you would know. But we are going to be smashing some pumpkins in honor of, fall time,
It is fall. Fall just came a few days ago, so let's smash some pumpkins.
And, I know a little bit of their back catalog, and I saw them live when they were opening up for Green Day. And, an interesting thing about their set, man.
What's that?
So at the very end, when they did Cherub Rock, which is probably their most popular song, Billy brought out professional wrestlers, and they actually wrestled at the end. And I was just like, what? Apparently, he's a huge fan of pro wrestling. He actually owns his own independent company.
Really?
Yeah. So the more you know.
The more you know. And it's interesting because usually whenever there's wrestling involved with something else, like a main act, I know I'm a hockey fan, so I follow the Wheeling Nailers, who are the Penguins ECHL affiliate. They're having a wrestling night at some point this season. So it's just kind of like, okay, so you're bringing an event to an event. All right.
So me and Matt talked off air, and because he killed me last time, because he won, he had the right to choose the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
And because you killed me last time, we agreed to let me go first.
Yes, you may go first this time.
All right. So this is gonna go a little bit smoother for a couple reasons. One, we kind of found out that Metacritic is kind of hot garbage when it comes to this kind of criteria.
A little bit.
And two, we're not doing this over a Zoom call. And three, I think during the last time we did this, I was eating dinner. So
I vaguely remember that. Yeah. So just kind of a very rough draft of an episode, but it was still very enjoyable. For all of you who listened to that episode, appreciate it. If you haven't, go do it now.
So without any further ado, let's kick her off here. So Smashing Pumpkins has a total of 13 studio albums. For those of you who are doing math, you're probably realizing that there's going to be one studio album that's just going to be left off the table. Whatever album that ends up being, we'll figure it out. And if you are listening at home and if you have the opportunity, feel free to pull up their Wikipedia page or go on your music streaming service of choice and react in real time, but not in real time to what me and Matt are picking, and just seeing if, hey, you could be like, oh, hey, why aren't you picking this album? I don't know. I think it would be fun if I was listening in on us right now.
Yeah, that's true. There's gonna be somebody listening what are you doing?
All right. So without any further ado, I'm gonna I'm on the clock here. And there's a couple different ways that I can go here. Actually, two different ways specifically.
Right.
And, I'm just going to pick the Connor McDavid of Smashing Pumpkin albums. In my opinion, it's going to be Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's an easy one for me.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that that's easily going to be a number one overall pick for the both of us. So you have that off the board. Now I am on the clock, and I am going to... Oh, there's a couple options here. I'm gonna take the safe bet here, and I'm gonna go with Siamese Dream for my first overall.
Yeah. And with that, we get the most notable albums off the board, at least the ones that we know of off the top of our heads.
Right.
I'm come on. There you go. So Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream has Cherub Rock, Today, Disarm.
Geek USA.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, it's a one hell of an album, man. So like, I would honestly say like I wouldn't be surprised if both of our choices are five.
Yeah, I was gonna say they I think we have a couple strong starts here.
All right. So let's see here. I'm gonna take a look here, compare a couple of different albums. Okay, we're not gonna do that one. And so, like, I wish I can verbalize what I'm actually, like,
Thinking.
Yeah. But, I'm going to go with the Smashing Pumpkins. Oh, the one I just pulled up was apparently a compilation album, so I can't do that one. So I'm kind of back and forth between two. I'm going to go with their 1998 release, Adore.
All right. Good call, good call. And, what do I go with? There's a couple options here. Just to play it safe, I'm going to get us out of the 90s. I'm going to go with Gish.
Okay. That was my other selection
Yeah.
there. Again, not very familiar with the Smashing Pumpkins, but I know, like, those are two albums that people like, apparently. So,
Yeah.
like, cause that, like, do you know any of the singles off of the albums that we?
Aside from Melancholy and Siamese Dream, not really. I don't remember. I feel like there probably is the one or two off of Gish where if you said them out loud, I'd be like, oh yeah, but even then, I can't even confirm that I've listened to them. Again, I have not like really dug into the Smashing Pumpkins as much as one would.
So with my third pick, I'm gonna go with their 2012 release, Oceana.
Oceana, okay.
Album that I'm vaguely familiar with. I think I listened to it like once. So, and I think I got positive reviews at the time. I might be just imagining it. I mean, I can be a little bit of a crazy person, I think.
Yeah, you never know. We will find out. Yeah. For my next selection, I am going to go with their 2007 release called Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist, okay. That's another album I'm vaguely familiar with. Right when I was expanding my musical taste, that was a album that came across my crosshairs. Okay. And... I'm gonna go with their album that they released this year. Agori Mori Me. I might be mispronouncing that. Billy Corgan, don't come after me and my family.
That's probably what I would have gone with, so don't feel too bad.
So that's off the board.
Whew. I am going to go with... I'm going to go with Sear from 2020. Okay. And the only reason I'm going off of that is because of it being the year of the pandemic, maybe people were like, comfort music, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. And with my next pick, I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go big here with my next one. I'm gonna go with their 2023 release called Autumn. It was a rock opera in 3 acts, 33 tracks, over 2 hours long. So
okay.
And I know like there was some hype about that with how it was released, so at least get it off the board here and go with the albums that I'm vaguely kind of familiar with at this point. So instead of taking random shots in the dark.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Monuments to an Elegy from 2014.
Okay, cool.
Kind of a risky move, but we will see.
And with my next pick, I'm going to go with their 2000 released Machina / The Machines of God.
All right. Which means I get the final selection.
Yeah.
And between the two that are left, I'm going to go with either Machina or Machina 2, The Friends and Enemies of Modern Music, also from 2000.
Okay. And I think it would be a fun comparison just to be like, okay, what did the last album that we left on the table, which was their 2018 release, Shiny and Oh So Bright Volume 1.
LP, No Past, No Future, No Sun.
So,
which is so pretentious that I tried to avoid that like the plague, but... and I'm just talking about the name. The album itself could be fine. I don't know.
All right, so let's actually start with that album there, just to see what the end result is. Like, well, not the end result, but like,
what score it got.
Yeah.
Because again, it's probably gonna get like a 5 out of 5. We're gonna be idiots.
4 out of 5.
Okay, all right.
So, not horrible. It could have been a solid selection, but we don't know what the rest of our selections go.
I like that it's a 4 because that's kind of a nice threshold of our own trial and error for what we have submitted to our discography draft boards.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work in reverse order in the draft here.
Okay.
Because I think it'll be anticlimactic to be like, oh, what's Siamese Dream? What's Melancholy?
Yeah. Do you guys like those albums? Do you?
All right. So we're going to go with Machina 2, which is probably what it's actually pronounced as. Shout out to you for, correcting me on the fly there.
All good.
All right. So, 3 out of 5. Okay.
Okay, not a great start for me, but that's okay. Kind of expected that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last selection that you made, so I think it's going to be in the middle of the draft that really is like the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
So the original Machina, Machines of God, was my last selection. And that got 3 out of 5 as well.
Okay.
So we're tit for tit right now.
So apparently the turn of the decade was not very kind to the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. I mean, the years have not been nice to them, apparently, so...
Yeah.
All right, so Monument to an Elegy was your next album that we're looking up, and that got a 4 out of 5.
Okay. All right.
Cool. All right, let's see if my rock opera... Well, did it pay off, or am I going to just be a sad man? All right, so 4 out of 5 as well.
All right, okay. This is a tight battle.
This is a duel, man.
This is a duel.
Okay.
I honestly thought that was gonna be a little lower, just because rock opera in the year of 2022 or 3.
Yeah.
But no, you got that one.
It was a brave move. All right, so the next one we're looking up was your 4th selection, Seer.
Seer from 2020.
And let's see if the 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, all right. Apparently the pandemic vibes weren't as strong as I thought.
All right. Well, let's see if the current day vibes are stronger or weaker, or just as the same. I don't know. We'll see. My 4th selection was Gori Mori Me. Ooh, 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh, that's not good for me. That's not good for me.
That was a pure shot in the dark, by the way. So
that's fair. I mean, again, most of these for me are shots in the dark because, again, I'm not as familial with or familiar, either or.
All right, so we're going at your 3rd selection, which was Zeitgeist, and 2 out of 5. Ooh.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, well. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I had a strange wondering if that one was going to backfire on me, and turns out that's exactly what it did.
Oh, if you left it on the table, I would have took it, so...
True.
So... Luck of the draw there, I suppose. So we're going with my third selection, Oceania. 4 out of 5.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, boy. I think my winning streak is going to be ending at 1.
All right, we're going with your second overall pick, which was Guiche. Well, second pick, not second overall. Released in 1991. 4.5 out of 5.
Okay, good. Okay. Small rebound.
All right, let's see what people say about Adore.
From 1998.
My second selection. 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, all right, that levels it a little bit.
Okay.
Not much, but a little.
All right, now it's coming down to Siamese Dream and Melancholy. Without even doing any correct math, well, any math at all right now, let's just see. Battle the first overall picks for both of us here. All right, we're gonna start with Siamese Dream. Rightfully 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. And Melancholy.
Please don't be a 5. Please don't be a 5.
It'd be funny if it was a 1.
I would be stunned.
4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
So you went with the right selection.
I did end up getting the highest one overall, but that might not be enough.
All right, so quick math here. We will go with yours first. So 5 for Siamese Dream, 4.5 for Gish, 2 for Zeitgeist, 3.5 for Seer. Monuments to an LG was a 4. And then Machina to The Friends and Enemies of Modern Music was a 3. So that gives you a collective score of 22.
All right.
Okay.
It'd be 22.
4.5 for Melancholy, 3.5 for Adore, 4 for Oceania, 4.5 for Agori Mori Me, 4 for Autumn, the rock opera thing that they released, and 3 for Machina, the Machines of God, which gives me a collective score of a 23.5.
Ooh.
Yeah. So even realistically, even if you swapped out with Shiny and Oh So Bright instead of Machina 2, I would have just edged you out by 0.5.
Wow.
So
You won?
we are tied at 1 apiece for Discography Draft.
Tied at 1 apiece.
So yeah, I was genuinely surprised about Zeitgeist, man.
I was too. I thought, because I remember when as I mentioned on a previous episode, particularly our Dead Weather episode about Whorehound, around the time I started looking into Rolling Stone and getting copies of that, I remember they were pushing this album quite a bit. So I guess they pushed it and the public pushed back.
They were like, nah, not today, man. Not today. Not with the Zeitgeist.
Nah, fam, nah.
But I might actually check out their. No, I mean, gotta be honest with you. I've been seeing them live. Like, I need to take a break from some pumpkins. But yeah, good episode, man.
Good episode, man, and congratulations on your victory. So next time around, you will be picking the band, and I will be going first.
We'll see how it works out that time.
We'll see how it works out that time.
I think even like in the first episode that we did of this, like you picked the band and I went first, so.
Yeah.
Well, we're working this format out on the fly,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that concludes this episode of Discography Draft, Smashing Pumpkins edition. If you were playing along, how did you do? Did you beat me in Matt's score, or did you even do any worse? Or did you tie one of us? That would be interesting if like somebody actually had the same selections as one of us.
Well, if they're playing by themselves, they probably picked all the good albums, so they probably beat us.
Yeah, true. Or maybe they picked a host and dueled them on there. So that would be actually kind of a fun game. But yeah. If you like this episode, the best way that you can support us is, make sure that you keep up to date by leaving a positive review and whatever you have to do to get updates on our new episodes, subscribe, follow, all that good jazz. Social media links are in the description down below. But yeah, for the last time, in this episode. I don't even think we introduced our introduced
No.
those there.
You're about to find out who we are now.
Yeah. Actually, let's not even say that. Let's just cut it out.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. And yeah, hey, thank you for listening to this episode of Hey, Listen to This.
And see you next time.